Shalom, shalom. Get started in 1 minute. Shalom, shalom. Get started in 1 minute. Sound is good. Man, Thawadi Yahawah shot for the spirit, man. To be able to do the lesson. Because everything, runs through Yahawah shot, man. He puts the spirit on men to expound on the things that's happening in the earth, give understanding that way we be able to be comforted, you know. So call Halalyam like Yahawah shot for that. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity, and salutations and blessings to the elect, believing on the words of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi. It's Brother Dawada coming at you with another lesson, Lord willing, is edifying. And again, we're witnessing the end of a kingdom. It was once thought that once they brought this guy in, that all the economic woes was going to end, all the things that was troubling America, Babylon the Great, was going to cease. But contrary to their thought, the Lord is making this place crash even more, and that's what we're gonna get into this morning through the Spirit. The economic woes, man, through the retail apocalypse. See, it's a domino effect when you don't have these certain jobs, these once staples that was once part of America. It's a domino effect when those things don't show up, man. You know. But again, they brought this guy in thinking he was going to solve all their woes as far as the economy. He was going to bring in more jobs. But again, contrary to their belief, the Lord is working on the other end. What is that? The counsel of Yahawah. Let's grab that, man. Yeah, it's the counsel of the Lord that's standing. You see? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19. And Yahawah brought a thumb to the brothers and sisters out there on the coming boy Shalom. Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. See? So they once thought that DJ DJ Trump was gonna make the economy flourish again, man. What was it? Make America great again. Oh, you had the edict by Biden, Build Back Better, you know, showing you that this place is on a sharp decline and it can't get any better, man. What's the scripture say? Jeremiah, let's grab that. Yeah, you can't heal this place. The Lord has struck it with a deadly wound. Jeremiah chapter 51. And we get to the point. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Yeah, balm, all right, is a healing agent, a healing ointment. Says nothing that can be done to heal this place. Okay? It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So it's no kind of deal that you can make, no kind of economic or tariffs that you can create that's going to help this place heal, man. You know, that's that person laying on their deathbed. Yeah, that's circling the drain. You see? So it's the Lord that has these things now being made manifest, man. Again, they once thought that DJ was going to be able to help them get out of the situation that they're in, but to the contrary, he's making it worse, man. You know, what is that? Oh man, let me think. What is that precept? Uh, yep, that's a spirit because we're gonna go to let's go to Isaiah chapter 19. We're gonna jump back and forth, you know. But we can get straight to it. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 14. Right. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So these tariffs, hey, these people being deported, it's affecting the economy. You no longer have people to to pick your crops, you know. You no longer have those certain people who was able to work those so-called bottom of the barrel jobs in these certain stores, you know. See, that's the will of Yahawah Shah taking away this place's stability, man. Okay. But as you see where the Lord is causing Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great, known as spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt, to err in every work thereof. And what's going to be the cause? Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. You see that? So from the top to the bottom, it's not going to be any work for this place. And again, that's what we're going to highlight in this lesson. America, man, is going out of business. All right, stores vanishing overnight. Think not that that's just a fly by night thing. No, these things are continuing to grow. The Lord said it's going to be greater evils, man, and these are part of the evils. Now I have this information that I went and got from Google. Just a simple, AI overview, right? It says yes, the retail apocalypse is ongoing in the U.S. with thousands of store closures in 2025 and more planned for 2026. You see that? So the evils are increasing. All right. If you don't have anybody working, how can they pay taxes? You know, if they can't pay taxes, how can they buy resources? You know, so it's a really a domino effect that the Lord is setting up. That's part of the gradualism of Yahawah Shah, how things don't come in at a rush now is gradually done. It says like Koga, Walgreens, and that's another thing. I was on the east side the other day and I seen, man, it was so many of these um like Rite Aid and CVS's closed on that side of town, man. You know, well, those are the things that you use to places that you use to go get your medicine. So now you don't have a, a convenient way to get to the things that you think you need to get well, man. You see, it says driven by e-commerce growth, shifting consumer habits, and market corrections affecting major chains as Macy's, and that's a spirit, because Macy's was a staple here in America, Babylon the Great. Rite Aid and At Home, though some argue its transformation, not the total, not a total collapse, with physical retail still dominant. Yeah, with this AI, they write the script for us, so they got to put a good spin on it, as it were. You know, as you see over here on the right, terrifying truth. See, this is the terrifying truth, man, of retail apocalypse as 8,100 stores closed. See that? And this is done what January the 5th, 2026, right? Retail apocalypse, thousands of stores closed in 2025, which is more to come, man. You know? But this is the Lord bringing the calamity of Esau upon him real quick. Yeah, there's no healing to this place. It's over with. Thus saith Yahawah. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. And oh man, verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Right. The Lord is posing a question. Is wisdom no more in Edom or Teman? And Teman was the so-called smart of the Edomites, the Germans, the ones who came up with those weapons of war, man, you know, and they migrated here to America. So the Lord has taken away their wisdom. That's why they're failing in their enterprises. It says, "Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?" Right. Their wisdom is vanished. See, the Lord takes away a nation's wisdom first, and then they begin to fall. See, that what happened. That is what happened to us. The Lord took away our wisdom, and we fell. We fell away from our heritage. We fell away from who we were, you know. Well, the Lord don't have to change up his game plan. It's the same results that you're seeing happen now in this wicked ass kingdom, America, Babylon the Great. The Lord has taken away their wisdom. It says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him." And surely the Lord is visiting this place. He's bringing that calamity upon Esau, that distress, that anguish, those best well laid plans are not working out as they once were, man, you know, and that's the Lord, really putting E on notice that his kingdom is finished. It says, "If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy it till they have enough." Right. But Esau comes in and he takes everything. Hey, that's what you're seeing happen now in Venezuela. You know, he's now threatening to bomb Nigeria, which has a stockpile of uranium. See, these things are not by happenstance. Hey, Greenland has a lot of rare earth metals. See, he's making a play on the resources of the earth, man. He's trying to steal everything, and that's the part of the Lord exposing this man. You know, it says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not." And eventually, that's what's going to be, man. Esau is not going to be, you know. But we see in the beginning stages of the calamity that the Lord is bringing on them. Now, I got a couple articles I would like to go into to highlight these facts. Again, Macy's set to close 14 stores nationwide. See list here. And Macy's was a staple here. You had the Macy's Labor Day parade, the Macy's Christmas Day parade, or whatever parade they would host, and that was once a staple here. Well, now so much so, the Lord is bringing that calamity to the point where now they're closing 14 stores, man. You know, it says Macy's is set to close 14 stores as the historic department store chain continues to shrink its footprint across the United States. See? So it's not going to get any better, man. It's only going to get worse. Okay? Next article. Hey, another staple, JC Penney. JC Penney rescue deal implodes. See, so those things that they was once thing that's gonna help them, is gonna bring them through. Now the Lord is cutting that shit out, man. He's nipping it in the bud, as it were. It says 120 stores face the axe. See that? Yeah, the Lord is cutting this place off, man. You see? So they had a deal. They thought they had a deal in place to rescue them. No, there's no rescue for America, Babylon the Great, man. You know, the scriptures tell us how poverty, matter of fact, let's grab that. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, highlighting the calamity that's being brought on this place. Let's see, we understand through the scriptures this place has to be turned upside down. Everything has to be right side up for the kingdom of heaven to be established. This is Second Ezra chapter 16, and bear with me. Let's see. I might have to type it. Let me make sure. Oh man. Let me see. It's probably further down. Let me get to the point. Poverty. Right. Did I spell it right? Of course not. Well, tell you what. Let's do this. Okay. Let me read that. Mm, mm, mm. Got to be more careful. I know let me see. It might be in second Ezra 15. Please bear with me. Yeah, it's gonna cause sedition. People not having any goods, not having any wares, not having a way to pay for it. Okay. All right. Salakia. I know a way to get it. I know a way to get it. You got to be so particular when you spelling shit that if you don't spell it just right or come up with the phrase just right, you won't be able to get it. All right. All right. Yep. It was second Ezra 15. That's the spirit. All right. Yep. Second Ezra chapter 15. And more than one way to skin a cat. Chapter 15 and yep, verse 49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, see, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. See? So we understand that the Lord is sending the plagues, man. These are part of the plagues that he put upon America, Babylon the Great, the plague of job losses, the plagues of staples that was once known, in America to cease. It says the collapse of J.C. Penney's latest real estate is look at that real estate rescue plan has pushed a fresh wave of uncertainty onto the department store's already fragile footprint. See, yeah, this place is teetering on the end, man. It says a complex deal meant to offload more than 100 locations has unraveled into legal wrangling and emergency contingency planning, leaving roughly 120 stores at a heightened risk of closure as the retailer scrambles to protect its core business. See? Yeah, beautiful. Hey, these are the calamities that the Lord said he was going to bring upon Esau, man. Causing the job loss, as it were. Again, it's a domino effect, with these job losses. If you don't have anybody working, they can't buy any resources. If they don't buy any resources or be able to pay for their home, they're eventually going to be homeless. They're not going to be able to eat. They're not going to be able to support their family, and it's going to cause what? It's going to cause more anguish, tribulation. Oh, the Lord said many great miseries, man. You see? This next article, GM kills $102 million factory, 1,700 layoffs triggered Midwest town blackout. You see that? Yeah, that's your how about shot all day. So GM, another staple here in America, Babylon the Great. Guess what? Now they're shuttering a plant, man. That destroyed over 1,700 jobs. It says the decision by General Motors to shutter a 102 million factory and 1,700 jobs has hit a single Midwest community with the force of a rolling blackout. And that's another thing, man. A real blackout is coming, you know? It says darkening paychecks. Right. These people don't have any hope, man. Tax bases, see the domino effect, and local confidence all at once. The move is part of a broader retrenchment in the company's electric vehicle strategy. But on the ground, it feels less like a strategy pivot and more like a sudden power cut. Woo! To an entire town's economic life. See that? Hey, call Halalyam like Yahawashi. Yeah. Lord is taking away the lifeblood of this place, man. And now Esau gonna have to scramble, to try and get his enterprises off again, man. Let's go to the next article. It says 60%. Look at that, over half, 60% of U.S. companies are planning layoffs in 2026. See, no, as the brother Tazayo on a mouth, no good news. Shout out to the brother. No good news, man. All bad news, you know. And bad news for them is good news for us. You see? Real quick. I did mention I want to grab it real quick. Yeah. Many great miseries. This is Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Right. It was once you could quit a job and get a job. No, it's not like that anymore, man. No, the struggle is real, you know. Coupled with the high inflation, the price of goods continually growing up, you know. See, this is those great miseries that the Lord promised that He was going to bring. It coincides with the end, man. Okay. Again, 60% of US companies, 60% of US companies are planning layoffs in 2026. See, this next article. And these are just all symptoms, like the title of the lesson, symptoms of the end. The retail apocalypse. See, this is the will of Yahawah, man. Amazon's 30,000 cuts in 7 days. 30,000 cuts in 7 days marks a new layoff extreme. See that? Real quick. Golly. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Damn. Hey. That's how it's gotta be, you know? Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years grow nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right. Those days are fastly approaching, man. You know, hey, we really are really in these perilous times. They're just going to continue to grow. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Right. The sun, the moon, the light, the stars, all metaphors for this truth, man. This light that's being pushed forth, you know, in this dark, this gross darkness, as it were. It says, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be dark and right. No hope, man. There's no hope. These people don't see a way out of the situation that they're in. And that's part of that spirit of perplexity that's growing on the earth. You know, should tell us that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow. Matter of fact, we're gonna come back. Is that second Ezra 6 or second Ezra 7? It might be 14. Let me see. Let's see, 14. But it might be 6. Yep. Let's go to 6. Yeah, these evils are increasing, man. They're not going to die down. Thus saith Yahawah Shah. Mm, you know what? Let's do this. Mm-hmm. Uh, Second Ezra 16 and 21. That's what we want. Yeah, that's what we seeing, man. Hey, when you ain't got no way of paying your bills, that's a form of perplexity, man. Not having any answers, not having any resources, you know, and eventually it's gonna lead to your mind being gone, man. As you go into that definition, it says not to have a way out mentally. See, this is Second Ezra chapter 16. And matter of fact, ooh, yeah, let's start at 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish. Right, that's what these things are bringing. Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. Yeah, for you to consider, man. You know, the Lord is kicking your ass, Jake, and you are not considering the time and season that you're in, man. You know, it says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. See, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Yeah, you're able to still go to your Kroger, your Walmart, your local store, you know, and get your goods, as it were, right? So you think you're in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, right? That perplexity, man. See, it's growing. They said great confusion. So that's what these job losses going to produce. People not having a way out, man. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. See? So yeah, we seeing these things happen, man. And it's a part of the judgment that the Lord is bringing on this place. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. Yeah, working, man. See? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we see that, man. You know, this music is trash, you know. But you once had people rising up early trying to get jobs, man. There are no jobs, you know. This place is failing on all fronts. I got one more article, right? It says Alabama plant closes after 60 years. See that? Those once footholds, those once staples, those pillars that was here. The Lord is taking them away. If you don't have a pillar holding you up, guess what? Everything is destined to fall, man. You see? It says wiping out 455 jobs. See? And this is just the beginning, man. These things are not going to die down. These things are not going to relent. The Lord is not going to relent, right? Second Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And that was the prophet Ezra, man. We in that same state. Well, guess what? We have the answer. We're gonna depend on Yahawah Shah to bring us through all these evils, man. You know, but we just highlighted, just a couple articles through the spirit of how the Lord is having America crash, man. These stores vanishing overnight. Those storehouses suddenly found and empty. That's not just reserved to food, man. No, that's reserved to all different goods, medical, clothing, any resource here in America is being taken away. The Lord is really compromising Esau's structure, as it were. Let's get this and close it out. What is that? Luke 21. Yeah, we're witnessing the end of an empire. The why do you how about shower shot for that? The Lord is hitting this place on so many fronts. You can't touch on them all, man. From him causing Esau to send out death threats, to these other nations that was once his allies, taking over resources of other countries, causing these uh, other nations, the kings of the earth, to hate the whore. Hey, all fronts, the Lord is taking this man down. Let's get in the NLT, right? Luke 21 and 25 in the NLT. And there will be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and here on earth the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and the strange tides, which again is a metaphor for the people being in the uproar, which we see now. People will be terrified at what they see coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shit will be shaken. Yeah, the rulers, right? Then everyone will see the Son of Man coming on a cloud with power and great glory. Yeah, that cloud is what? A so-called UFO, man. A chariot of Yahawashi. So when these things begin to happen, what things? The prophecies, some of the things we highlighted today. Stand and look up, for your salvation is near. And that's where we at, man. Salvation is near, because we see the destruction is near. So I pray this been edifying. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Till the next time, Shalom.